So, my two older kids, they're at that age now where they're asking questions like, what were you like when you were 11? Or have you ever been in trouble like this? Or have you ever seen something like this? Making me think about, you know, my life and all the different things and stories I've experienced in life. So I thought, why don't I share them with you all? So, story time. So me and my brother, I was a latchkey kid, so I would come home 3-4 hours before my parents because they worked. We would have babysitters, so I would come home and then I would go to the school because me and my brother were 3 years apart. I would go meet him at the elementary school and then we'd get picked up by the babysitter, come home and, be children, homework and whatever have you. And we had this babysitter one time. Her name was Miss Shelley. And I'll never forget her because she had red hair, like it was bright red hair. She used to drive this small little car. It wasn't a buggy, it was like before Fiats were here. It was small. Like we would always be cramped up in this thing. And she was like a batonist. So she was always talking about baton this and baton that. And that shit used to be annoying because like I don't really care about baton anything, right? But she would always bring over her son. She wouldn't bring him over all the time, but she would bring him over sometimes. His name was Josh. And this little boy was annoying. Like one of those annoyings that's like, oh my gosh, Josh is coming over today. Great. Like one of those. And he would just kind of mess shit up all the time. Like I was 11 at the time, so I used to play with my wrestlers, you know what I'm saying? I had storylines, I had the ring, I had storylines and all that, really intense, right? And he loved wrestling too. And he would want to, play with the wrestlers and stuff, that's fine. But then he would play too rough, or he'll kind of mess up my story, or, he'd come in and interrupt my shit. And it's like, hey, stop doing that. And then my brother, there was these toys called Playmobiles. And he would always play with his Playmobiles. And it makes sense now because, my brother loved The Sims and stuff like that. He was playing with people's lives early. And boy was so annoying. And one week, I think we were just tired of it. We were just over it. And he was supposed to come over one day, and he didn't come over. And so me and my brother were in our basement, and we are just... we're just venting to each other like, man, yo, Joshua is ridiculous. Like, this boy is annoying. He come over here, he mess up my stuff. He's messing up your stuff. Like, he's being extra all the time. It's too much. It's too much. I can't stand when Joshua comes over. When Joshua comes over, it's a lot. And we're just down there. We're just talking. We're just talking to each other, venting to each other, right? And the next week, my mom and my dad, they call us up to the room and they're like, hey, were you all saying bad things about Joshua? And we were both like, because we were talking to each other. This had nothing to do with anybody. And she's like, yeah, well, Miss Shelley, she said she heard you guys in the basement. She said you guys were saying bad things about Joshua. And we both looked at each other. We were kind of like, we weren't really saying bad things. We were just venting to each other because, the boy is annoying. We can't stand it. So we were just talking to each other. But nobody said anything rude or disrespectful to Joshua. We weren't being like that. She's like, well, Miss Shelley feels, she doesn't really like that. And I don't think Josh was going to be coming over anymore. And yeah, we got in trouble, but it wasn't like we got in trouble because we weren't saying anything crazy. But also, Joshua's not coming over no more. Hey, look, if you don't want to bring him over no more, that's fine. But me and my brother, we weren't it wasn't one of those things like, oh, well, he was talking about him and I wasn't saying I didn't do anything and he didn't do anything. No, or he was like, no, he was doing it and we were saying this and this is what's happening. No, it wasn't any of that. We both were like, yeah, we were talking, we were venting to each other, and, it wasn't rude or nothing, but, yeah, we were talking about him, for sure, we did, because the boy's annoying. And, yeah, we got in trouble for that, and she was like, hey, because Miss Shelley still has to come over and watch us and stuff, she's like, you guys, I want you to, apologize to Miss Shelley, and, just tell her, you know, that wasn't right and things like that. And looking back on that as a parent now, I get it. As a parent, I understand. There was one time my son in the 3rd grade, he was being disrespectful to his teacher. And me and my wife, we were like, look, you're going to write a letter to her. You're going to let her know that you were sorry and that was wrong, and you're going to take it to her. So as a parent, I get it. I get it. At the end of the day, we shouldn't have been saying things about him, but we were in the comfort of our own home. So obviously I'm going to do that. And also, Miss Shelley, mind your business, because you know your boy's annoying. You know that. Mind your business. You're over there eavesdropping, okay? So if you do want to talk shit about people, okay, and your siblings, go find you a place, all right? Like we could go to the backyard, okay? Go to the backyard, go talk your shit, and then come home if you don't want nobody to hear you, okay? And if you got siblings, always have each other's backs. Real.